Two men, same job, same paycheck, same office on the same floor, walking through the same door every single morning. One of them buys a coffee on the way in, $5, every working day. The other one makes his coffee at home, pours it into a travel mug, and carries it through that same door. That is the only real difference between them, one small cup of coffee. 30 years later, one of these men is comfortable. He owns his home, he is on track to retire early, and the other one is staring at his bank account wondering where all his money went, telling himself he never really earned enough to get ahead. The strange part? The man who fell behind made the exact same salary the whole time. He did not waste it on anything dramatic. No gambling, no expensive car, no disaster. He just bought the coffee. Today, we are going to follow these two men, dollar by dollar, year by year, and watch how one $5 habit quietly grows into a gap of more than $1 million. And by the end, I promise you, the lesson is not the one you think it is, because this was never really about coffee. Let me introduce them. The first man is named David. David is 41 years old. He works in operations at a mid-sized company. He is good at his job, well-liked, dependable. David earns $60,000 a year. Every morning, David stops at the coffee shop near the office. He orders the same thing. It comes to about $5. He does this 5 days a week because, as David puts it, it is just $5. It is the one thing I do for myself. I work hard. I deserve it. And honestly, that sounds completely reasonable. Hold that thought. The second man is named Mark. Mark is also 41 years old. He works on the same floor as David in the same kind of role for the same $60,000 a year. Mark used to buy the coffee too, but one day Mark did something small. He did the math, and what he found bothered him enough to change his morning.
So Mark started making his coffee at home. The cost to him is roughly 50 cents a cup. Then you took the difference, the $4.50 he was no longer spending, and he set it aside automatically into an investment account. Every working day, same salary, same age, same job. The only difference is the cup. Let us start counting. $5 a day, 5 days a week. That is $25 a week. Over a year, David spends about $1,300 on coffee. Now, if I stopped right there, you would shrug. $1,300 a year is not going to ruin anyone. David is right. It really is just $5. But here is where it gets interesting, because we are not going to look at 1 year. We are going to look at 30. Mark takes that same $4.50 a day, and instead of handing it to the coffee shop, he invests it. Let us call it about $100 a month going into a simple index fund, the kind that has historically returned around 8% a year over the long run. Now watch what happens. This is the part nobody feels in the moment. After 1 year, Mark has put in about $1,200. With growth, he has roughly $1,250, almost nothing. If Mark checked his account at this point, he might even feel silly. All that effort, all that home-brewed coffee for $50 extra. This is the exact moment most people quit. The reward is invisible. The sacrifice is daily. Remember that feeling, because it is the whole trap. Let us keep going. After 5 years, Mark has contributed about $6,000 of his own money. But his account is now worth around $7,400. The growth is starting to show up. $1,400 appeared that he never worked for. Meanwhile, David has spent about $6,500 on coffee. It is gone. He enjoyed it, sip by sip, and there is nothing wrong with that. But it is gone. After 10 years, Mark has put in about $12,000. His account is now worth roughly $18,400. For the first time, the money his money is earning is becoming a real number. More than $6,000 of that did not come from his paycheck. It came from time. David, at the 10-year mark, has handed the coffee shop about $13,000. Now stay with me, because this is where the curve starts to bend, and the bend is the entire point. After 20 years, Mark has contributed about $24,000 total. That is the price of a modest car, spread across 2 decades. But his account is now worth approximately $59,000. Read that again. He put in 24,000. He has 59,000. The account has more than doubled his contributions, and he barely noticed it happening. David, over those same 20 years, has spent about $26,000 on coffee. The two men paid almost the identical amount. One has a growing pile of $59,000. The other has empty cups. And we are not done, because the most dramatic part of compounding does not happen at the beginning. It happens at the end. After 30 years, Mark has contributed about $36,000 of his own money. Total. Spread across 3 decades, it never once felt like a sacrifice that mattered. His account is now worth approximately $150,000. 36,000 in, 150,000 out. He never increased the amount. He never picked a hot stock. He just never stopped, and he let time do the heavy lifting. So where does the $1 million come from? I told you this coffee costs $1 million, and I meant it. Let me show you the version that should actually scare you. Everything we just calculated assumed Mark only ever invested the coffee money.
$100 a month. Nothing else. That is the gentle version. But here is the truth about people like David. The coffee is not the only leak. It is the mindset. The man who tells himself it is just $5 about coffee tells himself the exact same thing about the streaming services he forgot he is paying for, about the upgrade he did not need, about the takeout on a tired Tuesday, about the treat yourself purchase that shows up 3 or 4 times a week. When you actually add up the small, automatic, it is only a few dollars spending of an average person, it is not $5 a day. For a lot of people, it is closer to $25 or $30 a day in leaks they could not even name if you asked them. Now run that same math, not on $5, but on $25 a day across a working life with steady investing, and the gap between David and Mark does not stop at $150,000. It sails past $1 million. That is the real cost of the coffee. The coffee was never the problem. The coffee is the symptom. The story David tells himself to feel okay about the cup is the same story running quietly under every other dollar he spends. And this is the twist I promised you, because right about now, it would be easy to walk away thinking the lesson is never buy coffee. That is the wrong lesson. And if that is all you take from this, you will fail at it within a week. Let me be very clear. The point of this is not that you are a fool for enjoying a coffee. The point is not that joy is forbidden until you are rich. The point is about awareness versus autopilot. David is not broke because he likes coffee. David is going to fall behind because he never once chose. He never sat down, looked at the number, and decided, yes, this $5 is worth it to me, and I am paying for it on purpose. He just drifted. The spending happened to him.
Mark is not ahead because he is more disciplined or because he hates nice things. Mark is ahead because one time he looked at a small habit, ran the number to the end, and made a decision instead of a default. That is the entire difference. Not income, not intelligence, not willpower. A decision instead of a default. And here is what makes this so powerful and so quietly cruel. The cost of drifting is invisible every single day and overwhelming over a lifetime. Every individual cup feels harmless because it is harmless. $5 will never hurt you today. That is exactly why it is so dangerous. There is no alarm. There is no pain. There is just a slow, silent gap opening up between the person who decided and the person who drifted. So let me ask you the real question. Not, should you give up coffee? The real question is this. How many of your daily dollars are decisions and how many are just defaults? Because you do not need to become Mark overnight. You do not need to pour every joy out of your life and live on plain rice and tap water. That version of saving fails for almost everyone because it treats money like punishment. What you need to do is much smaller and much more powerful. You need to take one habit, just one, that you currently do on autopilot and turn it into a decision. Maybe you decide the coffee stays because it genuinely makes your morning better and you are happy to pay for it. Good, that is a decision, keep it. But maybe you find one leak, one subscription, one habit, One default that you do not actually care about and you redirect it. $100 a month, the price of a coffee a day, and you point it at your future instead of your present. Because the math we just did does not care whether you are rich or poor, whether you earn $60,000 or $600,000. The math only cares about one thing. Did you decide or did you drift? 30 years from now, you are going to be one of these two men.
Same as David, same as Mark. You will have spent a fortune in small, forgettable amounts. That part is already guaranteed. The only thing still undecided is whether you have anything to show for it. David spent $36,000 and got coffee. Mark spent $36,000 and got $150,000. And the version of Mark who caught all his leaks, not just the coffee, got more than $1 million. Same paycheck, same 30 years, one decided, one drifted. The cup in your hand is not the question. The question is whether you are holding it on purpose. Make the decision, any decision. Just stop letting the money happen to you. And if this made you look at your own morning a little differently, that is the first decision right there. That is where it starts. If you found this useful, the next video breaks down exactly where the average person's hidden money leaks are, and the 3 that quietly cost the most. Watch that one next and start turning your defaults into decisions.